Okay, so in the last video, we used the diamond in the box to factor that trinomial into these pieces. We took the product of the first term and the last term and the middle term, and put it down here, and we found two things that added to the middle term and multiplied to the product of the first and last terms. And then we took this expression and we wrote it in the box using the first term from here, the last term from here, and these two split terms went here, and then we took the greatest common factor in each column and in each row, and we have our solution. All right, I'm going to show you one more time here. Now, here, we're in a chapter where it says a equals 1. A does not equal 1, does it? Something that I haven't emphasized so far, but will right now, is that when you factor, always, always, always look for a greatest common factor first. Don't start doing fancy stuff if you have a greatest common factor. Notice we have no greatest common factor here. X does not go into all terms. 5 does not go into all terms. 2 does not go into all terms. There's no common factor between these three terms. Looks like there's a common factor here, but it doesn't go into this term. So there's not a common factor in all terms. Whereas in our new problem, there is. By the way, if you're using the diamond in the box, do not let x squared be negative. So we are going to take -3 out as a common factor, leaving x squared minus 3x minus 10. Okay, now, given those numbers, you might not even want to use the diamond in the box, but I'm going to show the diamond in the box right now. So the -3, that's just going to get held out to the side. We have to make sure we wind up with that -3 as a factor in our answer. Otherwise, we haven't factored the -3. And we're going to start a diamond in a box. I only write the cross part of the diamond. First term times the last term. Remember, we're factoring the trinomial. We're not factoring the -3. We've already factored that out. So -10x squared. The middle term goes in the bottom. Okay. We're looking for two things that multiply to -10x squared and add to -3x. So because we have an x in the bottom and an x squared on the top, these are both going to have an x in them. Because we have a -3 down here, a negative value down here, and a negative value up here, this one means that the larger of these two items is going to be negative. And this one means that only one of them is going to be negative because we need to multiply to a negative number. So let's put one of them as negative and one of them as positive. All right. We need two things that multiply to 10 and have a difference of 3. Well, that's going to be 5 and 2. So 5 and 2, but we need to come out to -3, so we need the larger one to be with a negative, -5 and 2x. So now we have -5x and 2x. Those multiply to -10x, and if you add them together, you get -3. All right, so we've got our diamond part. Now we need to do the box part. So we draw a box over here. Now remember, the box, the first term gets the first term from the quadratic, x squared. The last box gets the last term from the quadratic. These two boxes get these two terms. Doesn't matter where we put them, they just have to go there. Now, greatest common factor, x. Greatest common factor, 5. We need to take that sign. We always need to take this sign and put it up here. Whatever the sign is in this box goes here. Greatest common factor, x. Greatest common factor, 2. We need to take this sign. Whatever sign is here goes here. So our results are x minus 5 times x plus 2. And we are done. This will multiply back out to that if it was done properly.